All right, let's move on to Sunday. Mississippi Whisper lead us in, says, boys, excited for the show as always, week to week. Looking forward to the discussion in the chat and hearing these two guide us to cash and tickets, baby. Thank you, Mississippi Whisper. Pocket Lamar says Gronkowski hasn't played in 3 weeks. Yeah, we know he hasn't played, and there's no chance of him coming back on a Thursday nighter. R says AB and Godwin, Evans, carve him up. Arthur Meade Jr. in the house. Great to see you, Arthur. Ron Crawford. Thank you guys for joining us. All right, let's go. 9:30 a.m. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London, England. Very interesting first week there. Bebsie cashed the over in that spot with the Falcons and Jets. Now we have the Dolphins at 1-4 at the Jacksonville Jaguars at 0-5. Let's start with the market here and the cash flow. The Dolphins open up as 3-point favorites. They move to 3.5-point favorites. This total opens up at 44.5 and is being flying up, skyrocketing up. 45.5 moves to 46, then moves to 47, and then Heritage, which is a sharp book, drops to 47.5. Very interesting. Let's see if the cash flow follows suit here. At this point, we have 4,236 tickets in. 62% of the tickets, 53% of the cash on the Dolphins. So some big bets coming in on Jacksonville. From a total side of things, we have 52% of tickets on the under and 81% of cash on the under. Dolphins have lost 4 straight following that season-opening victory over the Pats. They come in off an ugly beatdown, 45-17 at Tampa. Jacoby Brissett, 27-39, 275 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Looked like he hurt his hamstring in the opening quarter. He stuck around in the game. The Dolphins ran just 9 times for 39 yards. Looking at their roster, look, I didn't think Kenyon Drake was the answer by any means, but looking at who was battling for RB1, I was like, they're going to have the same problems they did last year. All of a sudden, Flores' decisions that looked so good a year ago aren't seemingly moving to the next level. So, yeah, you got the group of guys that believe in you and are going to fight with you. Now you should probably acquire talent. Now, look, not having Devontae Parker and Will Fuller hurts badly. So I get it. You lose these wide receiver weapons, and maybe Brissett is a questionable arm that, you lose the weapons, and now nobody trusts Brissett beating you, and they know that the run game can't beat you, and that's the problem, I think, with this Dolphins offense at this point. Preston Williams, 3 catches for 60 yards. Dolphins got 2 sacks, 6 quarterback hits on Brady. And Adam Shaheen is day-to-day with a knee injury, and Will Fuller was placed on the IR with the finger injury. Jaguars coming off their 20th straight loss, 37-19 at home versus Tennessee. They moved into sole possession of the second longest losing streak in NFL history, 6 shy of the 1977 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's too bad that Urban Meyer, fucked up. It's funny that his whole focus isn't on football. You see the guys that succeed, look at Andy Reid. Andy Reid's whole family falls apart because the only thing he cares about is football. And then you have Urban Meyer not caring enough about football. And it's crazy to me with all these, with this opportunity with this young squad that it wouldn't be all football time, just focus on football and not be, out at your bar or whatever. Whatever. Trevor Lawrence, 23-33 for 273 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Dan, other coaches, could you imagine another coach being out at a bar at 10 or 11 at night? These other coaches are at the stadium at 5 in the morning, and here's Urban Meyer, Crystal called it the bowling ball. I still can't comprehend when you have this opportunity that you would do something so frivolous. You don't deserve this opportunity. Dan Arnold was Trevor Lawrence's number 1 target, 6 catches for 64 yards, but he lost the fumble that was returned for a score. Tavon Austin caught 5 passes for 54 yards. James Robinson, that week 1 decision to give Hyde more carries than James Robinson was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
That's still making you angry.
It still is. It's just so ignorant. He's such an ignorant.
He really thinks a lot of himself. Like, he thinks he's a genius. He thinks he's smarter than everyone else. And look, the record he had at Ohio State sort of backs that up, but it's Ohio State, man. Like, you're going to win games.
Oh, Crystal's so funny. She's so fun to cap with. She's such a strong capper. So funny. James Robinson, 18 carries for 149 yards. Jacksonville was only forced to punt twice. You're forced to punt twice and you lose 37-19. I mean, let's forget about everything that happened last week. How bad of a coach are you that you're forced to punt twice and you lose 37-19? Just horrible. They got 3 sacks, 8 quarterback hits. Now, Brandon Linder was carted off the field and was placed on injured reserve today. That's a huge loss at center when we know that a young quarterback needs trust in his center. It's a huge loss. Miles Jackson, day-to-day with an oblique injury. Dakota Allen got hurt with a shoulder injury. Defensive end Roy Roberts-Harris, Laurenti McCray, and quarterback Tyson Campbell were all inactive, remain questionable to get back at it. I understand why it moved to 3.5. I think that the Jaguars will blow up before they can build back up and move forward. Your thoughts on this spot, 9:30 a.m. Eastern at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London, England?
Okay, I might oversimplify this here, but it's obviously difficult for teams to go play in England. You're out of your routine. You're in a different country. Everything is a little bit harder for them. That's why they keep showing English people shitty games. They get the Jets and was the other game there that weekend? Anyways, they keep giving them shit games. But my point is, it's a difficult spot for both teams. But which coach, Brian Flores or Urban Meyer, do you think will do a better job managing their football team and these, difficult situations that are going to come up by playing in England? And the answer is Flores. Urban Meyer is going to be like, hey, we're in England. I don't have a bar here. I can go be a drunk piece of shit this week. Like, I just don't think that team is going to be ready. And I do believe that Brian Flores will have his team ready. Add insult to injury, that center injury, Trevor Lawrence without his center, that's going to be extra tough. There's just too much for this Jags team to overcome this week, and Urban Meyer isn't the guy to guide them through it.
I feel like that's an important hook, that half point. I think I'd be better off not betting this football game, but I shouldn't say clearly, because we look at these numbers. We have 38% of the tickets on Jacksonville, 47% of the cash. I like your point, though. Flores, I don't understand some of the decisions around player personnel this year, and I respected them enormously last year. They were fighting for him last year. And the last 2 years, they were fighting for him. Ron Crawford says Dolphins or pass. That's it. It's Dolphins or pass. This total skyrocketing to the over makes me think the Dolphins win this game. Makes me think that the Jaguars – look, the Jaguars punted twice and lost by 18 points. It makes me think that they're very vulnerable here. Bebsie, do you have any interest in making anything official here for this one?
No, because I don't have to bet this game. And it's not an enticing enough game. I don't care that this game is happening. That's why it's happening in England. Because they're like, this game sucks. Just put it in England. Give them this. They don't care. And I don't care either, and I can't bet on this game.
Kev Riley says stay away game. Kev Riley, by the way, is the hottest handicapper that we run with right now. It's Kevin Riley. Pocket quarterback Lamar Jackson says it best. He said last year they had a leader in Fitzpatrick. They did. Maybe that's just well put. I mean, we know he makes tons of mistakes, but he's a leader. And maybe that is a big difference in this football team.
People like him. People like Fitzpatrick.
Okay, I guess I certainly lean towards the Dolphins, and you have to think this is a buy low spot after that shit kicking they just took from the Buccaneers. But an ugly game, and you get it, UK.